Let's talk about the distributive property, and we're going to be doing it around simplifying expressions. So we're going to have 12 problems, each one getting harder than the last. But don't let that freak you out, because what I need you to understand is what is going on right here. This is 5 times 3x minus 4. And when I say 5 times 3x minus 4, what I mean is it's 5 times this whole thing, okay? Boom, now we have 3x, there's 3 x's right here, and we have 4 negative ones, so that is 3x minus 4, right? So what's going on is if we were to duplicate this 5 times, okay, there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need to make some room. You know what? I can do it like this. Check it out. I now have 5 copies of 3x minus 4. And now the math is, kind of annoying, but we could do it. We just count. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 x's. And I'm just going to count by 4s now. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Minus 20. Why is it minus 20? Because those are all negative. But there is no way that you guys or me that we're going to do that every time, right? There's no way we're going to count that. So really, here's what you end up doing, is you just distribute. What's going on is I'm saying that this 5 is multiplying everything inside of this group. Just like I was saying, hey, that's why we have 5 times 3x is 15x, and 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. That's the distributive property. Is it saying if I am multiplying a group, then I multiply everything in that group. So really, we could kind of say the distributive property is really multiplying a group. So that's kind of our fun way of that's what the distributive property is. That's how they overlap each other, right? So zooming in here, negative 4 is in fact multiplying that group, and we get negative 4k, because negative 4 times k is just negative 4k. Negative 4 times negative 7 is plus 28. And we're done with that. Let's try another one. A little bit harder, like I said. So 3 is multiplying this group. So we get 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 7 is 21. And then what is going on is we have this plus 5 left over. And now we're just back to what we were doing yesterday of, oh, okay, well, let's find like terms. Oh, 3x doesn't have a like term? Okay, but 21 and 5, those are like terms. So now we're done. 5 is multiplying this group. 5 times n is 5n. 5 times 3 is 15. And then that plus 4n is still left over. This guy, he doesn't have any, oh wait, no, he does have friends. 5n and 4n, that's 9n, but the 15 doesn't. So we are done there. Okay, getting a little trickier, but not that much trickier. Check this out. We just happen to have one group and then another group, right? So this one is distributing 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6, okay? This guy, this is what we did yesterday, where, guess what? When you are adding, nothing really changes about what you're doing. Because look, if I were to add 3x, I don't need to rewrite that at all. But now when I add negative 2, you have an option. You can write plus negative 2, or you could just write minus 2. These are your options right here, okay? So let's write this all as one big thing right here. And I'm going to go ahead and write minus 2. If you want to write that, go for it. So what like terms do we have? We have 2x and 3x is 5x. We have 6 and negative 2, that's 4. We are done. I guess one thing I do need to warn you about, I still am hearing people say, oh, well, hey, this is negative 5x. So I applaud them that they can do 15 minus 20, but this is not negative 5x. This is 15 boxes of I don't know what. And this is negative $20, or this is 20 insults. Can I actually combine these two? No, that's why it's not this, right? Because I don't actually know what is in that box. So until I know what's in that box, I cannot combine things. This would be the final answer. Same thing here. This is not 26K. This is not 29X. So anyway, quick detour. Now let's go back to this. Distributing. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Some of y'all are going to have to go back into, oh, a negative times a negative ends up being positive, right? If you want, I suppose you could go ahead and do this. There's that negative 2. You could say negative 12 if you want to. But guess what? These are it's still adding, right? So I'm going to erase that for now. If you need to see it, then you write it, okay? Now, plus 3x, remember that plus doesn't change anything. This plus 4, it doesn't change anything. Now we just combine like terms. Negative 2x and 3x is x. 12 and 4 is 16. We're done. So if you're wondering, like, okay, why are these seemingly so easy? Because we have only really just been multiplying one of the groups and then possibly adding to simplify. So now let's multiply both groups. So we have 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is positive 6. 3 times, and here's the funny thing about this. I just realized as I was doing this, this is only the second time that we've had a coefficient, that number, with our variable. This was the other time, 5 times 3x, and it became 15x, right? So if you're like a little lost on why I'm pointing that out, we did a lot where it was just 3 times 1x, which made it 3, right? So, okay, back down here. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 2, that's negative 6. Now we just combine like terms. 2x and 9x is 11x. 6 and negative 6 actually just cancel out. So we're just at 11x. And why do they cancel out? Because 6 minus 6 is 0. Okay, another 2 grouper here. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Now just combine like terms. Done. So if you're feeling pretty confident, I'm not about to say that, hey, don't feel confident anymore, but I'm just saying we have been, hang on, here's one where we added a term. We added a term. All of these in here in blue, we're adding this term, adding this term, adding this term, adding this term. Check it out. We're going to be subtracting now. So there's going to be more changes down here than there were on the previous ones. So here we go. First thing is there's no change in that this is just negative 2 times x. That's negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 6. That's positive 12. Now, I am subtracting this entire group, right? So that means I am subtracting 3x, and I am subtracting 4. And now it's just like terms. Negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x. 12 minus 4, that's 8. So if you feel like you got that one, and you feel like you've gotten them all, then I would challenge you to just skip ahead to like this moment in the video, pause it, and try this one. Pause it, try this one. Pause it, try this one. And just see how you do. I'm not like saying, yo, there's no way you're going to get it. I'm just saying, yeah, pause it. If you feel like you've gotten it so far, cool. All right, 2 times x, 2x. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Negative 4 times 3x is negative 12x. Negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. Combining like terms, we get negative 10x minus 10. Number 11. This group is being multiplied by negative 4. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8x, or subtracting 8x, subtracting 3. And now like terms, negative 4x and negative 8x is negative 12x. Negative 8 and negative 3 is negative 11. Last one, negative 3 times negative 2x is 6x. How? Because a negative times a negative. This negative times this negative. Okay? Negative 3 times 4, that's negative 12. Negative 2 times x, that's negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 7 is plus 14. Combining like terms, we get 4x plus 2. How is it 2? Negative 12 plus 14 will be 2. So, how do you think you did on all these? Do you feel like you got it at the end? Let me know what questions you have. See ya.